Hi there, thanks for coming back to the channel. The title for today's video is there a weekly connections limit on LinkedIn? Keep watching and I'll give you my thoughts after the break. Hi there. Before we get into today's topic, if you haven't subscribed already, today's topic, is there a weekly connections limit on LinkedIn? Okay, so here I am on my LinkedIn profile, and as you can imagine, I use my profile and I do some outreach each day to try and increase the size of my network. And the theory behind this, or the rationale for increasing your network, is as you make more connections, you'll have more new potential partners, more new potential clients, and then increase the revenue in coming into your company. That's the idea, and that's the theory behind it. Lots of people are doing the same in the B2B sector. We're trying to extend our network. We're trying to increase the number of connections we have on LinkedIn. I currently have around 6,500 followers, and then about 6,300 connections. I won't change screen just to show you that. I can show you that later. Or you can look at one of the other videos. Around 6,300 individual connections. There is a limit on connections. Your total limit on without any exceptions is 30,000. So each person on LinkedIn is allowed to have 30,000 individual connections, and then an unlimited amount of followers, but 30,000 personal connections. I've got obviously a long way to go before I reach 30,000 if I wanted to reach it. And it's not something that I'm focused on. I'm focused on increasing my network and bringing in more opportunities to the business. Recently, I'm recording this on the 18th of May. Recently, LinkedIn has introduced an unofficial, when I say unofficial, it's not formally announced this, but it's introduced a limit on the number of connection requests that you can send out on a weekly basis. So let's imagine you were sending out 30 or 40 connection requests each day. Under the old system, without any limit, you would be allowed to send as many connection requests as you want, providing your connection requests received a good amount of response. So if all your connection requests were being refused and rejected, and people were saying, I don't know this person, I'd like to report this person, or for spamming or whatever, then LinkedIn, this would alert LinkedIn, and LinkedIn would then have a look at your account and say, well, perhaps you're sending too many connection requests, perhaps you don't know these people, perhaps you have no connection to them or no relevance to them. But generally speaking, there didn't seem to be an absolute limit in terms of the number of people you could send if your response rate was good. Also, if you were in a group, for example, you may find that was an opportunity to meet a lot more people and connect with people. So LinkedIn was quite mindful of that and would allow you to send, once you're in a group, if you have some sort of contact with people and exchange comments on posts, etc., you could then send connection requests to those people, and there's no limit there either. What LinkedIn has done now is made a change, and they won't obviously formally announce this, and perhaps, I hope I don't get into trouble for saying this, but I think they've introduced a limit of 100 connection requests per week. So that means if you are just focusing on the normal office days, you can send 20 per day. Now, if you, as like myself, you're researching potential connections using LinkedIn filters, and I've made videos about searching for potential clients and leads and so on, so I won't repeat all that information here. But if you've made if you've made searches and then you're sending out lots of connection requests under the old system, that's fine. As long as people thought you were relevant and had some connection with you, they would accept those, and that was all fine. Now that doesn't matter. You can't do more than 100, otherwise you'll be notified. And I've seen reference to this, people saying there's a lot of messages come from LinkedIn saying, I think they're automated messages saying there's a lot of activity on your account, therefore we need to be mindful of just sending people requests that contact connection requests of people that you know. So they've made a concerted effort to reduce the number of connection requests that are being sent out. So it's 100 is only 20 per day, focus using 5 days of the working week. Why have LinkedIn introduced this connections limit, given that everybody wants to increase the size of their network and that will lead to more business opportunities? There are some people on the system, on LinkedIn, who have amassed millions of followers. And if I was to say Bridget and Oleg, for example, those are two people you may have heard of who've got millions of followers. And I think LinkedIn is trying to move away from this focus on the size of your network and encourage people to take a more qualitative approach. And there's nothing wrong with a qualitative approach, but I think across the board, a connections limit is a kind of, it seems to be quite a one-size-fits-all approach to a problem. If there is a problem with people spamming connections and then people not making meaningful connections on the platform, perhaps there are other ways of addressing that rather than just saying, okay, nobody can send out more than 100 connection requests. Imagine if you're a speaker and you speak at a conference and there's thousands of people at the conference, and then you want to connect with them afterwards, and you can only send 100 connection requests in a week. So some of those people you won't be able to send connection requests to. So I'm not sure exactly why there is just one solution for this problem, is if there is a problem of spamming. I think some of the things that you can do, one of the things that you can do to alleviate this problem is to be very mindful of the number of requests that you send, and also to be diligent in removing people who it's likely that they're not going to accept your request. So let's go to my network and let's click here, and okay, I'm going to accept that request. And then I'm going to go to manage, click on manage. Let's close that message and look at my sent. So I have in my sent, I've got over 143 people in the last week or two that I've sent a connection request to. So I'm going to go to the end of these, page 2, and those that are over a week old, I'm going to delete. So you can see at the bottom here, we've got some that are, let's have a look, just doing this live. We've got some that are over 2 weeks old. So I'm going to withdraw those connection requests. And my idea, the ideal number for me is to keep it to one page. So if you've got 100, if you've just got 100 connection requests pending, I think that's more acceptable than to have, say, 200, 300 or 400, etc. You can see that's a lot that you're trying to connect with. So that's my approach to, first of all, be very diligent and removing those people that have yet to reply or are likely to not accept my connection request. That's the first thing. Second thing is, LinkedIn is an excellent platform for B2B leads. We all know that, and that's why we're very active on there each day. But there are other ways of generating leads. One of the ways that if you're a regular viewer or a subscriber and you've got your notifications turned on for my channel, you'll know that one of the ways that I generate leads is by the YouTube channel. So here's my YouTube channel, and it's a channel that you're watching, 14,700 subscribers. But you can see I make a lot of videos about LinkedIn, for example. So there's a playlist here, LinkedIn advice for B2B businesses. Also about social media, your content and social media questions answered. So there's some of the popular uploads. And in making these videos where I present strategies, solutions, answer questions, solve problems, in doing this, I'm generating leads from YouTube, not just from LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is great, and it's the number one platform for B2B businesses, as you're aware. But you start to use other platforms like YouTube, you can also generate leads that way. And compared to the number of people trying to generate leads on LinkedIn, there are far fewer trying to do the same thing using YouTube, because obviously you've got to make videos, publish those on a sort of regular basis. So those are my thoughts around around the connections limit, which is now, even though it won't be officially announced or publicized, is 100 connections per week. So that's my advice and how you respond to the weekly connections limit that seems to be rolled out globally now, and is a big change from the previous system, or the previous approach, where you were allowed to send as many connection requests as you liked, providing you were getting a good response from those, and obviously there weren't any adverse reactions, people reporting you or saying it was spam, etc. So hope these thoughts have been useful to you. Thanks for watching all the way through. If you've liked this video and you found it useful, please give me a like. click on one of the two thumbnails to watch another video. I look forward to speaking to you next time. Bye bye. Oh, if you haven't subscribed already, thanks. Bye bye.